Good morning and welcome to another edition of Mark's Inspiration. Glad you could join me here today as always, and we are up to 1,410 subscribers. Welcome. Thank you all for being here. I couldn't do it without you, or if I would, why would be the reason to do it? Nobody would be here, but you are. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you because the more I can give to you, the more comes back to me. Yes, I'm a selfish guy, right? I've learned in life that to satisfy my selfish desire to feel fan-fucking-tastic, I have to help you feel better and have a better life. So it really works out pretty good. As before, I used to try to satisfy myself by getting whatever I could from whoever I could. And that didn't work out too well. In the end, you feel pretty empty, desolate, and destroyed. So you look for something better, and I found it, and it works very well. So, without further ado, smash that like button and subscribe. Check out my books on Amazon, Coming Back Home, The True Adventure of Mark Daniels, and The Power is Within. Check me out on Instagram if you're watching this on YouTube at Mark's Inspiration. And if you'd like to get my help personally, marksinspiration.com is my website. And here we go. Today's topic is going to be a social magnet. How to be a social magnet. Many of you guys wait till you see that hot girl before you start talking to anybody. How do you think you're going to be able to converse with her if you're not practicing talking to a variety of different people? And it's really simple. I do it all the time. Well, you might say, yeah, Mark, but you're older, you have a lot of experience. Well, how in the hell do you think I got that experience? By experiencing it. Let me give you some examples. I just traveled to the Dominican Republic. As some of you know, I went to Punta Cana, and I talked to all kinds of people. Now, was everybody real friendly back to me? No, but I opened the conversation. And some people talked pretty good. Some people were kind of reserved. I'll give you an example of one. So I'm in the airport in St. Louis. No, actually it was Atlanta. I got confused. And I'm looking for a place to sit down, and there's not any, so there's a chair by this woman. But she's sitting there, and I want to sit on the end. I think I was charging my phone. Well, maybe not. Yeah, in Atlanta, I think I was. But anyway, so I sat down there. I thought she was by herself. I didn't say anything to her, because that wasn't why I sat down there. Anyway, so here comes the man that was sitting with her. So he sits down. I started talking to him, but he was real reserved, and he would answer with just, I think I asked him where he was from, East Tennessee, and so he was fairly dry, not very friendly. I thought maybe he might have thought I sat down there to try to get to his woman, which I didn't because I wasn't really attracted to her. She was okay, but not real attractive. So you could call that a failed conversation attempt, but was it a failure? No, there's no failure, there's only learning. Lessons learned. Is it an L? No, it's a lesson. Is that how it is? A L is a loss. So the lesson I learned was how to converse with someone who really didn't want to converse. I talked to him a little bit long enough to find out that now was he afraid or he didn't like me? I really don't give a shit if he liked me or not. Who knows? But you don't take things like that personally. Don't let that stop you from talking to the next person. So, there you go. I talked to the taxi drivers, I talked to everyone. People that sat down beside me, I talked to them. And you can usually tell if they just want to be left alone or if they like to converse. A lot of people just don't want to converse because they don't know how, just like you may be feeling. But the point of all that is you make the first move. I was in the immigration line and I started talking to a couple people. I always do. One of the things I talked about, there was a couple of black ladies in front of me and they were laughing and joking about this dentist sign. So I made comments about that. And we also talked about how the line was really moving fast, although it was really long. Now you can start a conversation about it anywhere if you want to start complaining, but you don't want to draw those types of people into your life. But I probably talked to, I don't know, 10, 15, who knows, maybe 20 people I didn't know. Maybe a hell of a lot more than that. Well, I'm not counting the people that I had to do business with, or that I had to talk to them to do business with. Now, the taxi driver spoke Spanish, and I do too. So sometimes I just want to relax because it's challenging to speak Spanish, not as simple as English. But I usually start a conversation with those guys too, above and beyond what I have to do to get the to make the arrangements for the ride to the hotel or back to the airport, whichever it may be. But you'll find that when you do this, when you finally meet a girl that you really want to approach, it makes it so much easier because you're not worried about what you're going to say, what you're going to do, if she's going to like you, if she's not going to like you. But never approach a woman wondering if she's going to like you. Always approach thinking, I wonder if I'm going to like her. I wonder what she's like. Because too many times us men look at a beautiful girl and we think, man, I want to marry her. Well, maybe not that extreme. But we look at her and we think, I really like her. And you don't know shit about her. You don't know anything about her. I can't count how many girls I've met that I thought were fine. And when I started talking to them and they opened their mouth, they looked a lot less than fine. If that makes sense to you. They didn't look too good. They looked not quite as pretty as they did when I could see them from afar and I knew nothing about them or their personality. That's part of the challenge with online dating. These girls post these photos, and I'm telling you, half the time they don't look like their profile photos. How do I know? Because I do a lot of online stuff, and I always make them send me real-time photos. And sometimes you're amazed at how different they look. And then if they pass that test, I talk to them online on a cam, unless they're close by, but I don't date anybody in the U.S. I haven't for a long time. If you travel out of the States, and you go out with some ladies in different countries, you may, if you don't know any better, you have no contrast, you think this is all there is. There's so many beautiful feminine women out there that are cooperative and different and just full of life. A bird just flew into my window. That happens quite a bit up here. They think they can fly through the house. Poor birds, they can't tell that there's a glass there. So it's just so, anyway. But if you can, get yourself in a position where you can travel out of the States and date women in different parts of the world. I specifically like the southern Latina country, Latina for women. Latina countries, Central and South America. More South America, Colombia. Colombia is the land of beautiful women, if you like dark hairs and dark eyes. Now, if you don't, maybe they're not so beautiful for you, but I love those women down there. They're passionate. Latin women in general are very passionate, much more so than American women in general. But they got a fiery temper that goes along with it, and they're very jealous. So remember that. Got to take the good with the bad, but I like the passion. The Latinas get hot, and they're not so reserved. They're actually the land of I call it the land of the parties, because they're always partying down there. They always have a party or something. They're always alive. They're always full of energy. So quite different from up here. I do not have much luck with online dating with women here in the States. They'll want to talk for a long time, and I don't want to do that. It's like, let's get to the point. And you ask them for their phone number, and they're afraid to give you their number, okay? I have hundreds of girls' numbers from all over the world, and if I call them, or not call, I usually don't call them unless I'm going to meet, but if I text them and it doesn't go anywhere, which I try to get to somewhere real quick, and that's the only reason we want to use texting, I go for the WhatsApp call, the cam call, so I can get a feel for the personality, and if I like them, then I'll go to meet them. Or I'll take them somewhere where I want to go. Now, the reason I would go to meet them is if I had never been to their country, or if I want to go back to their country because I like their country. Or if I want to go somewhere on my own, then I will fly them to where I'm going. So yes, it takes a little bit of money, but get yourself in a position where you can do that. You really need to fish in a different pond if you're fed up with American women. I mean, a lot of people from other countries like American women. I don't particularly like women that are trying to be masculine, that want to be a man. That's just my take on it. If you like that, that's fine. It's just not my cup of tea. I prefer feminine because I am a masculine man. Some people say I'm old-fashioned, traditional. Maybe I am, but I like it that way. I like the contrast between a feminine and a masculine. I like that polarity. I think the polarity is what makes a relationship work, what makes it passionate, what makes it functional. So remember, talk to everyone every chance you get. Just walk up and say something to them. Just say hello. Hey, how you doing? Or where are you going? I ask several. Hey, where are you coming from? Where are you going? Different things like that. Nobody's gonna. Well, it could happen. Someone might say, "What do you want to know for? It's none of your business." I've never had that happen to me, and I've talked to hundreds, thousands of people in my life, just to open the conversation, because most people are afraid to. And every time you do it, it gets easier and easier and easier. So step out there, have a pair, grow a pair, be a man, and make the first move. Talk to people. Everybody, young, old, rich, poor, ugly, whatever. People in first class, people in coach, people in the taxi at the gas station, people who wait on you. Talk to them more than what you have to do to get the business done. And what's everybody's favorite subject? Themselves. Ask them about themselves. Not in an interrogatory way, but in a curious way. Take a genuine interest in other people. And guess what? Other people will take a genuine interest in you. It's just the way it works. That's it. Take care. Have a great day.